Hello, this is Zach from Slugfest Studios. Today I will be showcasing a game I've been working on behind the scenes called BoneBound. This is the first devlog of the series that I do want to make to kind of emphasize what I am doing and kind of show people, what I'm working on right now. Building the whole thing in Unity solo, but not completely alone. A huge chunk of the logic UI systems, and let's be honest, most of my sanity comes from bouncing ideas off ChatGPT and using the coding that it gives me. I know a little bit of coding, and I definitely use ChatGPT for a lot of it. What this game is a kind of like a creature card collecting game. It has Civilization Revolution aspects to it, Magic the Gathering, and I would say a lot of D&D inspiration. Your main objective is you start at a castle and you have to destroy an enemy castle. Now there's events and tile system. It's a turn-by-turn strategy game. And what I want in this game is you create just broken synergies that are very fun. So now I will pretty much play the game from the starting point of the main menu and kind of just explain what's going on here. So I have a profile select. You can always create a profile. You can create multiple profiles. Right now I think you can create up to 6 different profiles. You can attach a name and a emblem to that profile. And this is actually a good kind of little sneak preview of all of the species types in the game. There's 12. So all those emblems represent species types. And this is the next screen, so play, customize, journal, and back. Back, of course, goes back. But this is the customized screen, and I want a lot of customization in this game. That's one of the main, I love customization in any game. I'm a sucker for it, so I have deck backings. These are, well, self-explanatory. These are the backings of the cards. Here's a few examples of what I have. So this is a beast deck backing, and this is a demon deck backing. This is whenever a card is flipped over, you will see that image, and you can always go to this menu to set that specific deck backing that you really like seeing. And yeah, so there'll be pretty much a deck backing for all 12 species types. Also achievement unlocks, so you can get these golden cards. The next thing I will be showing is the wisp. This will make more sense once we're in the game, but these are images that kind of play when you pick up and drag the card around, or if a card is activated, these will kind of emit kind of like these little wisp aura that goes around your cards. I want a bunch of these, like a crazy amount. And the nice thing is you can actually, what I want is you can check multiple, so it will play these randomly. So you can kind of create cool little visual synergies. Here's a little smiley guy. And now wisp variants are, all they are is colors. So there's gonna be 5 colors to every wisp. There might be red, yellow, black, white, blue, different like that. And castles are your spawning castle that you summon creatures on top of. Now we will play the game. Now this is what you look at in the beginning. So your castle is your starting spot here. This is where you summon creatures. You have 3 tiles. So you have 1, 2, 3. These are the tiles that you can set your creatures on. They go in a straight line, and they march pretty much down those tiles. Now what you're trying to do is destroy the enemy castle right there. A lot of things are subject to change. I think this is a placeholder for the castle, but I do want to make different types of castles. You have your cards in hand. Now the starting cards are just for testing purposes. I don't think you're going to be able to start with cards, but what you do is you press start to begin. You would draw randomly from your deck. Now before this, you can actually set up your deck to what cards you kind of want to function in your deck, and then you draw them. And right here I have a skeleton minion, so he's an undead species. Then I have a greatsword, which is a equipment card. There is 12 species creature types in the game, and there's 4 different types of attachable cards. Right there, that is a equipment card. That skeleton horse is a merging card. So there's equipment, spell, merging, and pet. Now what I'm highlighting over now is the mana function. It's an Arcanian. Every card has a casting cost to it. And that's in the bottom right of that card. You see the 0? It's not going to be 0. I just 0 because I don't enjoy gathering mana when I'm testing my game. So I make certain cards a little bit cheaper. Here's another one, female elf recruit. That's another elf. Now, this is the inspection window. There's a lot going on, but I'll kind of do a breakdown and what I want of every card. So I want every card to kind of feel attached to. Like, you should be able to like get a card like the skeleton minion. This card keeps evolving throughout the game, so its details, it will keep those stats. It will show, you know, its species, class, resting, successful events, failed events, total damage dealt. You kind of keep track, so you can get the skeleton minion here, and when a card dies, it actually goes back in your deck, and you get refunded the mana, or some of the mana. And those little wisp things that are coming off when it's glowing, that's the wisp function. So you can actually customize those to where like you see these cards dragging around. But there's titles in the game, so these titles are actually unlockable. And the nice thing about the titles is you actually drag the title onto the creature, and it will change like the title of the creature. Now, yeah, you can pick up this newcomer, and then this is the title dropper. You can literally just drop it on there. Now it changes whenever that card is shown, skeleton minion newcomer. So you can create some cool little flavor text. Imagine this guy, he's Calcium Maximus, Lord of Lane 2. Things like that. And what I'm highlighting over now, so D&D is a big part of this game. So skills, you have skill checks. In a lot of events that pop up, you do skill checks. And then you have your stats. This is power, health, defense, speed. Those are the only 4 stats of cards. I didn't want to go crazy because that's a lot of coding. So those stats will always be reflected on the card. The little swords, you have power. Then the heart is health, defense is shield, and then speed is like the little yellow sun on the card. Now this creature does have a ability. So he has devour, restore up to 1 health on kill. There would be a lot of triggers for these abilities. And there's going to be a lot of abilities in this game. This is how you kind of create like broken synergies, which I don't mind. Broken is fun to a certain extent. But we'll see once the game is up and running. There's probably going to be things that are absolutely busted. But I think if you find something that's kind of cool, it's pretty fun if you find these broken synergies. But this is the XP bar up here. This shows the rank. These little orbs underneath the XP bar. So these are actually kind of cool because these show every card has 3 different cards that they can evolve into. So they always have a default rank up. Then this guy has a merging and equipment type. So what that says is it kind of gives you a hint to, in these top right slots, if you equipped a equipment card, now it's going to not tell you what card you need, but if you equip some specific card in there, you might get a unique rank up that turns it to a unique creature. In this case, if you equip that greatsword onto this creature, when it's time to evolve that creature, he'll turn into a great skeleton rather than his default skeleton, or you can select it. And this is kind of the cool little feature that I want in this game. I want different things that you find. You know, I want, like, you can attach a rat to this skeleton minion Jeff, and now he turns into skeleton minion Jeff the Rat Lord. You know, just cool little fun things like that, and the player just keeps finding it. This is me dragging the card around, so you can see kind of the wisp emitting from it once again. This shows when a card's activated. Now, you can slot these cards, so I just slotted that. Notice how that white orb filled in with a gray equipment slot. So that just shows, hey, there's a new rank 2 transformation for this creature once he's able to level up. And now I'm going to attach a skeleton minion to that card, fill it in. Hey, there's a new card that you can find once this card can rank up. And there's stat changes. This is also me showing the remove attachment function too, so that does a little layer on top. That is me going to, over the equipment based rank up orb. Notice how that's filled in, it still tells you. There would be kind of like a journal that like shows once you unlock a rank up, it'll actually show you like how to get that rank up again, like what card you need. It's always the default rank up to every creature though. It's me removing it, and it goes back into my hand, as it should. And you can select that on different cards. So different creatures have different skills, because different creatures are just better at different events. Now the hand always shuffles. A little nice little feature. As I was running into like cards that were going off the screen. So now it reshuffles. It finds the correct hand placement. And so that is the story. That'll make more sense once I start summoning creatures. That kind of like, it plays the story if you want like a narrative explained. That is the clock. That is the AI difficulty. Doing something a little bit different where like, if you're doing really good, if you're killing it, the AI will start to scale up to you, to your difficulty. If you're not doing too well, the AI might drop. Cards left, that's self-explanatory. Arcanium is bottom left, that's mana for spending. The right one is gold and money. You can actually use the money for different things. But here, so I'm dragging this card over my castle. This aura around my castle is showing where to summon it. This will pop up in lane 1, lane 2, lane 3. Now this is where you want to summon your creature. I'm going to select lane 1, drop him in, gets a little green aura around him to represent that's a friendly card. And that story will pop up top. Skeleton minion was summoned, grasping the destiny with cough and rattling rage. So that's kind of like if you want to keep track of the story, and it's kind of cool because it starts to tell the story. I'm just going to end turn here. Are you sure you want to end turn? Yes. And you see that fog of war. Every card has a vision, how far they can see. Certain enemies will hide under the fog of war, so you don't really know what you're going into a lot of the time. And this is me just showcasing the skills. These are for the skill checks for the events. All events will pop up on these neutral tiles. Rank 1s have very low skills. They're just not great at a lot of things, but once you start progressing them, they get better at these types of events. So here we have Wandering Merchant. A wagon rolls slowly along the road. Its frame covered in dark cloth and strange charms. Atop it sits a cloaked merchant, reins in hand. Surrounding the cart are several silent bodyguards, each wrapped in heavy cloaks. They move with precision, too much precision. Something isn't right. So this first option is a fate option. This is the option that you can always pick. It's like a low risk, low reward, and it kind of says avoid, plus 1 XP. You get XP from every event. Now, second option is usually a skill check. So this would be a charisma. It'll tell what skill check you need to kind of roll for. 25% success rate approach. So that's kind of a high risk, high reward. And this third option, Undead Brother, that's a very niche thing. That won't pop up all the time unless you have a niche thing where you always want to select this third option if it is, because it's usually a low risk, high reward. And that third option popped up, species undead. That's why it popped up. Undead Brother popped up because, hey, this guy, he's bones. I wonder if I'm related to him. But this is how it expands. Even some of these events, instead of just being an undead, I could make a class skeleton. So every card has a species, 12, like there's 12 different species, but they can go further into a class. So undead, you might be class skeleton, class zombie. And for the sake, I'm just going to do the avoid. Curse of Sickness, so I have a Curse of Sickness on this event right now. It's not supposed to be, but for testing purposes. And then it'll kind of give you an option. It'll show you what happened. So you keep your distance, watching from the shadows. The caravan passes without incident. They never notice you, or at least never let on that they did. So there are 4 like status effects. So there's curses, blessings, regen, and decay. Curses are something that they will deduct stats, so they might deduct even like a stat skill. Blessings, they might improve a skill or stat. Regen, plus 1 health at the end of each turn, and decay, lose 1 health at the end of each turn. Now in this case, we had a curse, so that's why we see those red stats on our health. So then we can click continue. Now the event will pop up. But real quick, we got a quest. This quest, what I'm fishing for, I think at the end of every like 4 turns, you'll get a quest, and you can only have a maximum of 2 quests. But this is kind of cool because you can kind of select a quest to go on. Right now I only have 1 quest type in the game, but I can further expand this. I can make delivery quest, destroying quest. So I have Den Mother. This is pretty much defeating a like a nearby wolf that's causing issues with a town. And that will actually pop up. So this bridge tile, whenever you see that bridge, that is a quest that your creature can go on. And this is where it's kind of like a risky thing. Do you continue to go to the enemy castle, or do you try to finish that quest? Because finishing that quest, you get XP for your creature, and you get rewards. This is my story system. It likes to break and it likes to overlap a little bit. That's something I gotta fix, so let's close that out. And next, I will show you the combat system. So actually go up to when we're in combat. So when a creature runs into another creature, it will actually start a fight. They will battle, they will use their determining stats or power against them. Here's another example of this, where my creature is getting absolutely destroyed by the AI. And this is another example of when a creature runs into a castle to defeat the castle. I did recently add this, so this is my creature dealing damage to the enemy castle. Now, there's going to be a lot of abilities, passives, cards. Rank 0s are actually kind of cool because they turn into a rank 1, so you might get like a dragon egg. You have to keep it in your hand for a certain amount of turns. It will turn into this baby dragon. This is me just pretty much showing all of the stats of the creature. They have abilities. They have when they rest. Creatures can actually heal themselves. They actually set up a little camp at nighttime. Certain undead creatures might rest during the day. Like a vampire might rest during the day because they're weaker during the day. And this is pretty much just showing all of the customization that I want. So you have skill checks, 1 through 20, backgrounds, buy price, because there is actually like merchants in the shop, and that's how you use your coins. And every creature can go from rank 0 all the way up to rank 4. Think of rank 4 as like legendary. Rank 0s are cards that sit in your hand. So you could have a cursed peasant, which is like a werewolf creature that transforms at nighttime. He might turn into a unique rank 2, and then a unique rank 3, and then to like a unique rank 4 legendary. And this is me just showing some of the events. So it can add status types, status amount, what you get as a reward, what is your skill check, if it triggers a trading shop, if it's supposed to grant a title. So all these events can further expand there. Different types of trading shops in the game. So you might have like a goblin, like Boblin the Goblin showed up, and he sells you a lot of goblin wares, and that might fit into your like tribal goblin deck that you want to build. So watch out for Boblin because he does like to stab. Now I will showcase the 12 species in the game. So you have animal. These are good in numbers. Demons, good in numbers, fairly cheap. Dragons are a little bit stronger, a little bit pricier though. Elves have a lot of speed to them, good for quest. Fairies are a support type. Goblin are small, good in numbers, make money. Golem, very sturdy. Human, all around decent. Spirit cards they place actually curses on creatures, undead, all around. Vampires, pretty strong, but they're weak during the day. And werewolves are pretty strong, but they're very weak during the day. And that is it for devlog number 1. Skeletons summoned and bridges are still very questionable. If you liked what you saw, you can wishlist BoneBound on Steam or join the Discord, or you can just yell at me about card balance. I'm building this thing solo with a lot of help from ChatGPT and emotional damage, so your support does mean a lot. And probably next time I'm going to showcase just a few things and what I add. I just wanted a kind of overall what to expect from what I've done so far. Thank you for watching, and remember, if your skeleton has rat, it's probably equipped.